Hey guys, welcome to LA Love Creative, and today we're talking about the Accsoon Seemo, my thoughts on this product, and let's get it. Full disclosure, Accsoon actually sent me this product for review. No money exchanged hands though, and I am going to give my honest opinion on this product. Now recently I did a shoot with a model. Her name was Lindsay, awesome model, and I thought this would be a great time to use the Accsoon Seemo as a field monitor. One of the cool things I liked about using the Accsoon Seemo is it made my whole package, my camera package, compact. And for the most part, I had a great time shooting with the Accsoon Seemo on my photo shoot, and I got some really good footage. I remember back in the day when I first started filmmaking, I always wanted to be able to use my phone as a monitor. There were always these really cool monitors that were coming out, but I always felt like my phone was the better bet. It had a better screen, a lot of times it had better brightness, and I just always wanted my phone to be the monitor. And for years, that was not really possible. However, now with the Accsoon Seemo, you now can take any HDMI signal that's coming from your camera, convert it into a Thunderbolt signal into your iPhone, and be able to use your iPhone as a monitor. One of the coolest things about this monitor, it has a lot of the functions that you would need as a filmmaker. It's got zebras, it's got waveforms, it's got histograms, it's got false color, which I really like in order to get really good exposure. And it even has a LUTs that you can, if you're getting a log image, you can go through their list of already saved LUTs and go probably pretty much find the camera that you're using. Do keep in mind that the Accsoon Seemo is going to compress whatever signal you're sending to the camera into a 1080p image. That's not a deal breaker. I think the image is still really clear. I can see focus, I can see the color. I get a pretty good image on the iPhone when I'm using this, but just keep in mind that you're not gonna get a 4K image from your camera and have a 4K resolution on the monitor. Another thing you might wanna consider with the Accsoon Seemo is that it can only handle up to a 60p frame rate. So if you're trying to do 120 frames per second, or if you're trying to do some really high speed frame rate, that signal is not going to be able to work with the Accsoon Seemo, so keep that in mind. That's not a big deal to me. The highest I usually film in is about 60 frames per second, but just keep that in mind. Now when it comes to lag, anytime you're taking a signal and it's going into a box, and then it's going to come out of that box and go into another box, basically, it's going to have a lag. So the lag I found to be not that big of a deal. It wasn't that bad. Compared to some field monitors, it's probably pretty comparable when it comes to lag. But just keep in mind that there is a lag when it comes to the Accsoon Seemo. It's nothing that bad, but just keep in mind that there is a lag. Now, one of the coolest things about the Accsoon Seemo, in my opinion, is the fact that it also can be used as a recorder. Now, it's only going to record a 1080p 8-bit signal, so keep that in mind. You won't be recording any RAW or any 4K high resolution stuff like that. But I can see a lot of benefits from using a recorder interface like this. For me as a filmmaker, I have to tell you guys, backup on top of backups on top of backups. Try to back up your footage as much as you can. And I can totally see myself dual recording on the Accsoon Seemo, having my camera shoot on the memory card, having a backup 1080p lower res, lower bit rate file on my iPhone, just so that I have the backup. The worst case that you want when you're filming is to have to tell the client that the memory card didn't work, that the hard drive failed, that the backup didn't work. I just had a hard drive fail on me a couple weeks ago. So by having backups on top of backups, I think it's cool, and I can totally see myself using, in a pinch, any footage is better than no footage, and I can totally see myself using a 1080p 8-bit video recording that the iPhone is recording if I had no other choice, and if I'm doing something like a small project or something for digital use. Some of the cons I had with the Accsoon Seemo is, for one, that the phone is actually not being charged by the battery on the top of the device. Now, you would think that using these Sony batteries on the device, you would be able to charge the phone, run the phone, charge the phone, do all that together and still get the signal. However, your phone will still die and the battery will still die, even if the battery on the Accsoon Seemo is still okay. I think that was kind of a misfire. I think there should have been a way to send the signal and also charge the phone. I don't know if that's actually possible, but I think that would be really cool, because if you do have an iPhone that's a little older and the battery is starting to get a little weird and a little wonky, you know how it is. I think by relying on the phone's battery for how long you can actually use the Accsoon Seemo is kind of not as professional, and I can totally see myself after an 8-hour shoot, the phone dying and being like, well, what am I gonna do? And having to switch to a actual field monitor. Now, should you get a Accsoon Seemo as a monitor replacement or a recorder replacement? I think that depends on what you really need. If you want higher end codecs and you want the highest quality in a recorder, then you can go with another type of recorder, field monitor type situation. If you want a really good field monitor that also does a little bit of recording, then I would, say that the Accsoon Seemo is a good bet for you. The cool thing about the Accsoon Seemo is at least you're gonna get a lot of the filmmaking tools that you're used to, the false color, the peaking, the zebras, the histograms, the LUT integration, and just a lot of the cool features you're looking for. So I don't think you're gonna be limited by the actual features that this has. And the fact that you can use your phone, which I think, right there is a really big plus. But if you're looking for a recorder, a lot of recorders don't have the filmmaking functions, and a lot of the monitors don't have the recording. So I think it really depends on what you're looking for. Now, that's all I have to say about the Accsoon Seemo. I had a blast using it. I totally can see myself using this on future projects. Let me know if you have any questions about photography or videography in the comments below, and I will see you next time. Peace.